Well, Aaron, I'm excited to have this conversation with you today. We've been doing these volunteer spotlights and looks at like kind of the heart of Eastwind, and I had the privilege of being in a life group with you in the fall. It was a blast getting to know you and Barb. So I want to hear a little bit from you today. Why don't you introduce yourself first, though? There's going to be a lot of folks who don't know you, know the Colemans. So go ahead.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me today, Carlos. I appreciate it. My name's Aaron Coleman. I have attended Eastwind for probably 16 years now. I think going back to 2005. Wow, it seems like a long time ago. But I've got my wife, Barb. She's also attended that entire time. And then my son, Jackson, who's 19. He's a freshman at the U of I. And then my daughter, Kellyanne, who is a junior at Timberline High School. So myself, I'm a Boise native. Kind of grew up going to church in this valley, and this has just been a great home for us, for our family, and excited about everything we're doing now.
Yeah. I love that you've grown up going to church because it's important for what we're going to talk about in just a minute here. We have, church often people think of singing together and a message from a pastor and maybe serving the kids and doing some good in the city. But there's a part of your life in church, and how I got to know you was through something called small groups, or we call them life groups here, growing together through sharing life. And what I wanted to ask you was, why in your life as a Christian, following Jesus, why have life groups or small groups? Why is that community important? Why should anybody do it?
It's a good question. Life groups have been really important to me for a long time. I mean, my first life group was in high school, and I had a really strong group of guys that, quite honestly, they just cared for me. I could ask them questions. We wrestled through, especially back in high school, a lot of tough issues, trying to figure things out, what's right, what's wrong, what do we believe, what should we not believe in? And so that was kind of my basis of why life groups are so important to me. And then once I met Barb and we became married, and we did some life groups together. We did some separately. I know when Eastwind, I've been part of the men's group here for 11 years. Currently, we meet at 6:30 a.m. on a Friday morning. A lot of people think that's crazy, but we've kind of used that as a badge of honor now. But it's the life group has been so important to me just from an accountability standpoint. It's really helped me dive deeper into Scripture and wrestle with some issues that I might not otherwise deal with. It's been an opportunity for me to serve others, get to know others, be a part of their lives, a chance to pray for them. I know they're praying for me. So it's just been super impactful. I know this past life group that we had that I was a part of with you, that was a great experience. I got to meet a whole bunch of new people that I've never met before. And through the course, I think it was 8-9 weeks of doing that life group, just to again learn about these people's lives, learn from them. Hopefully I was able to contribute to them a little bit. But it was just an important part of our marriage. It was an important part of our experience together. I know come Tuesday nights, we were really excited to attend. So
yeah, thank you. Thanks for sharing. I think it's important, people understand. They could hear me talk about life groups, but it's kind of my job. But to hear someone who chose on their own time to say, yes, we're going to do this, and used words like accountability, like service, support, all words that underpin how we grow, which is our desire here, that people would be inspired to follow Jesus and deepen their faith and relationship with him. And for those who don't know you, you're an active guy. You coach high school softball. Is that right? Coach high school softball. You love to hunt and be outdoors. We were just talking about skiing. You've got a great job, family, you're a busy dad, husband, friend. You've got all these things that look like a fully satisfied life. Why would anybody, let's go to follow Jesus. Why do you follow Jesus?
That's a good question too. For me, I think about the verse in John 10:10. It's one of my favorite verses. And Jesus is talking to a group of followers, and he says, "The enemy has come to steal and destroy, but I have come that you may have life and have it to the full." And that's why I follow Jesus, because I have found in my life, when I'm in sync with Jesus, when I'm really, truly following Jesus, my life is full. In my relationships, in my heart, my mind, my soul, it's filled. And when I am not necessarily straying from Jesus, but not necessarily when I'm out of the Word, when I'm not paying attention like I should, I find that life isn't quite as full. And so I believe everything in Scriptures that's said about Jesus. He was who he said he was. He did what he said he did. And ultimately, he rose on the third day and saved me of my sins, the entire world of their sins, so that I one day get to be with God in heaven.
That just rolled right off your tongue because I know you as someone who lives a full life and you believe that. So thank you for sharing that because that's what we're about. We're not just a community that does good. Jesus is at the center of everything Eastwind does. And life groups are a big part of that. So let's say you end up stuck on an elevator with somebody and it's life group sign up time. And they're like, yeah, I'm done. Life groups are dumb. They're a waste of time. What's your 15-second elevator pitch to them?
I would tell them, man, you should give it a shot. You'd be surprised at what you learn about others, surprised at what you learn about yourself. And if you truly want to get better and help others and be a real Christian, you really should consider being a part of a life group because it'll change you in ways you didn't think.
Very cool. Aaron, thank you. Thanks for the forthrightness, the authenticity, for being part of Eastwind. 16 years. Fantastic. And for giving everybody watching today this invitation that now's the time to join a life group. Jump in. Let's do this.